Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Umineko When They Cry Episode 2. I think this might be the last video for Episode 2. It really does feel like we're at the end. We got a bit of scrolling text that I was like 80-90% able to read without having to go back and reread everything for the video. But just to let you guys know, I actually did go back and read a little bit of it, the parts where there was a little bit more text, a little bit more details that I kind of just skimmed over when I was recording last. And it seems that the 5 remaining, obviously minus Beatrice, who survived, were missing on the 10th Twilight. Rosa was the one who denied the witch. The others, minus Battler, accepted. Battler, it was more of a question, a toss-up. But a lot of it also read similarly to, I guess, how episode 1's did, just without all the other characters being involved, I think. I might do a bit of a comparison between episodes 2 and 3 to see what details kind of stand out, what are similar. But fuck all of that right now. We have a banquet, the witch's banquet, Beatrice's banquet here, and I think that's going to involve more witches. We have some crazy things that are about to go down here to finish off episode 2, I believe. The entrance hall was bustling with a crowd of shadowy people, and it sparkled gold with the gold butterflies flying about. The gentlemen in suits and tuxedos and the ladies in dresses looked like they were having a great number of friendly chats. At a glance, it might have looked like a fabulous medieval ball. But they all had one thing in common, and that thing was exceedingly bizarre, because all of them had goat heads. Lovely. Was it a goat mask masquerade, or did they really have goat heads? It probably couldn't be the latter, but in this bizarre world, I really didn't know which was true. I feel that. Kinzo was amongst those goat nobles, greeting them. Kinzo's greetings were more respectful than what would have been expected, that read weird, as though these were all honored guests. At that time, Genji's voice rang out through the hall. It was a voice calling for silence. That voice stopped the idle chatter, and everyone turned to face Genji.
今宵復活を遂げましたる我らが黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ卿のご入場でございます。皆様拍手をもってどうかお迎えください。
When Genji began to applaud, it quickly spread through the guests and became a roaring ovation. Then the Golden Witch appeared from the top of the large staircase. As she gracefully waved her hand, followed by a piece of furniture that she was fond of, she slowly descended the staircase. That's Battler. The goat nobles offered unanimous words of celebration in some long-forgotten language, and those who were deeply intimate embraced, filled with joy at their reunion. As the witch offered greetings of reunion, the witch's furniture followed behind her the whole time. There was a chain around its neck. The other end was gripped in the witch's hand like it was a trained dog. It wasn't there to restrain him. Those chains were a restraining device whose only purpose was to wound the furniture's dignity. He wasn't permitted to wear anything else on his body. One of the young women goats mixed in with the goat nobles, we've seen that one before, quietly removed her goat mask as the furniture passed in front of her, and she spoke with eyes that had no light in them. That face seemed to belong to a long-haired young girl. Hey, yo. Wait, whoa. Alright, Jesus Christ. What a bit of imagery, just all around. There's a whole lot to take in here. I don't know how I feel about half of this, but okay.
Oh, ベルンカステル卿。これはようこそおいでよ。わらわの家具を気に入られたか？いい趣味ね。
That's one way of putting it. After saying only that, the witch called Bernkastil once again put on her... Oh, wait, yeah, the witch called Bernkastil once again put on her goat mask. I got a little confused there. And was swallowed up by the shadows of all the other tall goats. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that. The young women goats giggled, and the witch once again let out a high-pitched laugh.
終わりの時間と始まりの時間が溶け合う時を指すぞ。魔女の宴を始めよう!
Yeah, I mean the night is young, it's only midnight. When the witch announced the beginning of the banquet, the large clock pointed to 24 o'clock, and the sound of a bell began to ring out.
さあ、今こそ黄金の扉を!
Alrighty, hello Golden Land or whatever. Can't wait to see what craziness is about to, befall us here, as if we didn't have enough of that as is. I appreciate the special effects here, I don't really know what it's doing for us. All at once, the butterflies leafed in gold flew all around the inside of the room. Amidst the golden storm and the brilliant gold-colored light, the barrier between this world and another was cut open. Surrounded by the goats' delighted voices, the mansion of the human world and the mansion of those not human overlapped, and the members of the household who praised the resurrection of the Golden Witch scattered into gold butterflies and poured out of the depths of hell. It was a golden tornado, a rondo of golden demons. Come, tonight we will put aside rank, throw open the wine cellar, drop the snake's head into the liquor pot, throw cows and chickens into the furnace alive, drink and eat and sing and dance, sneer and kill and desecrate and degrade. My man, take it easy. This is what he's lived his life for. He's finally made it. This is Kinzo's good end. The goat nobles were suddenly crushing in around Kinzo, almost like they were kids demanding the signature of some famous movie star. There were only two differences. First, these were witches, not kids, and second, what these witches demanded was not a signature. The sea of goat nobles began to drown Kinzo. Only Kinzo's laughing voice echoed throughout the area. I wouldn't really call that laughing. Hey, yo. Well, that's freaky. It was a grand mixture of laughter and his death throes, and Kinzo became wine and meat and bread. Never mind, I don't think this is Kinzo's good end after all. An aroma if slurped, a rich taste if gnawed, and pleasant to tear to bits. The sound of his death throes lingered on sweetly, and if adorned with melted chocolate and golden argent, it would make a wonderful dessert. Hey, I doubt it. If you took the bones home, you could also use them in a soup. I also doubt it. And the remains could even become toys for the children to play with. And they could also become splendid tools for fortune-telling that always brought misfortune. Not sure about all that either. That entire scene was watched by the furniture. It was all fantastical. It's one way of putting it. It was all demonic. Probably a better way of putting it. Was the quaking of its supposedly paralyzed heart proof that it could still feel fear? At that time, its knees buckled and the furniture's body fell down in the middle of the carpet. After all, the witch had kicked those knees from behind.
ひざまずき敬意を示せ。額を絨毯にこすりつけて、おのがみの癒しさを示せ。両手を後ろで組み。血肉のすべてをわらわに捧げることを
I swear, this is some really kinky stuff that she has going on. I really wonder what happened. I mean, he only wanted to ask a whole bunch of questions and Beatrice was willing. But as a result, he became like less of a person, less of a human. He became furniture, even maybe less of that. The furniture let out a painful voice. Fear is the most basic emotion humans have. Was that emotion reviving his sense of self, which should already have been slain?
まだまだわらわの家具にはふさわしくないか。よい、じっくりそなたを。わらわ好みの。そしてわらわにのみふさわしい家具に仕上げてやる。今のそなたにできるのはせいぜい客人の方々を楽しませることくらいか。
The goat nobles were surrounding the crouching furniture. It seemed their blazing blood-red eyes couldn't hide their ecstasy at this new young food they'd been given. Oh, that's creepy. That is so fucking creepy. I don't like that, actually. That is scary. And from the ugly teeth that stuck out of countless mouths, saliva, or maybe the traces of meat and wine that they had just eaten, dribbled down. As the furniture let out a wild scream, it retreated, still sitting on its backside. But the circle of goat nobles was closing in. Then the furniture looked at the witch's face. It had surrendered to the witch, believing that the witch would show some compassion, and it stared at her face in the end. But there was nothing but scorn on the witch's face, and she wasn't even facing the furniture anymore. The witch went off to greet an honored guest with whom she had grossed gazes. Or crossed. Goddamn, if only I could read. The goat nobles looked down upon the furniture. Actually, they had been waiting. Just like how one must remove the cork in order to drink champagne, they had to wait for one thing before partaking of the offerings served at this banquet. Of course, the furniture didn't know about this thing, but it came out of his mouth all by itself. Just like the unavoidable pop of a cork, it inevitably came out of his mouth. What is happening? It was a scream. It was a sign that marked the beginning of the modest banquet at which he was to be served. Damn, if only we actually, fully listened to Maria as best as we could. Yeah, I'm skipping all these weird-ass noises. Yeah, if we listened to Maria, maybe everything would have been okay. Yeah, all that. But who knows? I'm assuming we are being eaten. Very similarly to Kinzo, if not crazier in a sense. Don't worry, guys. I have no idea what's really happening. And that's okay. I don't think we're supposed to really know. By now, the garden was one of both roses and gold. A gold-colored garden where gold butterflies, gold fairies, and gold lizards rampaged and flew about wildly.
Maria, 早く走って! 早く!
Rosa grasped her gun and the blanket wrapped around the ingot and ran at Maria, or at a speed that Maria could not match, sometimes pausing to call out at Maria to run faster. She saw it every time. She saw the golden pursuers chasing them from the mansion. Oh yeah, she's not getting away. But it is crazy here. What we saw at the end of the previous video and what we're seeing here, that Rosa went back and got one of the gold ingots. She actually has one of the pieces of the gold here and she's trying to take it with her. I don't know where she plans to go with it though. The mass of gold butterflies was chasing after them like a massive crawling hand. And strange-looking shadows with goat heads were chasing after them. There was no need for her to strain her eyes, because those blazing pupils told her what would happen if she was captured. Maria fell down. For just an instant, Rosa was ashamed by thoughts of abandoning her daughter and running away. And at the instant her feet touched ground, she ran back. Well, she has a little bit of, humanity with her, but hello, Mr. Goat. The goat head that had sprinted over to get the first bite grabbed hold of the back of Rosa's own child's hair and pulled. Rosa rammed into the goat head with her shoulders, spun, bashed the back of her elbow into the goat's jaw and buried her knee into its protruding chest. And she thrust the barrel of the gun inside the goat head's mouth as it doubled over from the pain in its gut. Yeah, I guess she really does have some, humanity in her still, kind of, maybe. I don't know. The blast from the Winchester's .45 caliber long Colt bullet, Jesus Christ, exploded inside the goat head's throat. And its medulla, oblongata was instantly pulverized. just say its fucking, like, head or jaw or mouth or throat or whatever. The goat had not understood. It had thought women were like pre-opened wine bottles. It had thought that turning them upside down would immediately make their deep red contents come out. Maria, who had been released, hugged Rosa. So this is odd, but I'm paying close attention. I want to see what happens here based on what we read at the end of episode 1. But the pursuers were still coming. They could see the giant goat heads, who had given up pretending to be human, running towards them from across the rose bushes. Rosa spilled several extra bullets, which had been in the pocket of her coat, all over the place, and told Maria to pick them up.
Mario, Mama がもし倒れたら、あなたは走りなさい。海岸へ行くの。そして、泳いで泳いで泳ぎなさい。
Yeah, that's totally gonna work.
この島のどこにも生き延びることのできる場所はない。やだ。ママと一緒。
Yeah, there really isn't anywhere to run, honestly. Come on, Rosa, have you not heard of stamina before? Rosa's gun roared 4 times, but even though 4 shots really did hit the massive approaching goats in the chest, they didn't even flinch. The goats ran with a violent vigor, as though they planned to crush Rosa and Maria with those massive bodies. Rosa grasped the blanket with the ingot in both hands, and she herself sprinted, pulling it along, without even an ounce of fear of those strange-looking giants. If it's to protect my daughter, I'll overcome even hell. I'm a little surprised, though. For like many reasons here, I'm very surprised. Rosa roared. The goat heads roared. That terribly heavy ingot, after picking up a fearsome centrifugal force and speed, slammed into the head of the goat head. That was a weird sentence. Rosa pulled a fountain pen from her pocket, but she held it crooked. She placed it in her palm, in the gap between her middle finger and her ring finger, so that it stuck out when she made a fist, almost like a stinger was growing out of it. That stinger sliced into the left eye of the goat head as it fell over. Was the goat head's roar a scream? But Rosa's roar was different. She pulled back her fist and slammed it into the fountain pen that was still sticking into the goat head's eye. The pointed tip was gouged into the depths of its head. Yeah, damage. As I grabbed the gun Maria had thrown, I finally heard the thunderous crash of the giant tumbling to earth. Oh yeah, there's no end to this. However, at the same time, I saw the goathead pursuers on the other side of the rose bushes increase in number. I've gained enough distance for now. I held onto the blanket wrapped around the ingot and the gun, and once again ran with Maria. Why am I running with a gun in my right hand and the gold in my left? Why don't I let go with one hand and grasp Maria's hand? I can't let go of the gun that protects my body. I can't let go of the gold that protects my future. But even so, I've let go of the hand of my daughter, the one who is my future? Yeah, never mind. A little bit of problems here with priorities, but at least she's still trying to protect her, kinda, maybe? I don't know. Run. Run, run. She got out of the rose garden and began to run down a staircase through a grove of trees. But Rosa knew. This path through the grove turned and twisted many times and only seemed to be long. She tore straight through it. She had played here often since her childhood years, so she knew. To the beach, to the beach. To the sea, to the sea, to the sea. And after reaching the sea, nothing to do but swim, swim, swim. And if Maria can't swim, I'll carry her as I swim. And with a gun and gold, we'd probably, abandon the gun by then. But with the gold, no, that's not gonna happen. There's nothing but death on this island. As she raced down the stairs, she took a bad step. A violent pain ran up her left ankle, and her mind went completely blank. Rosa fell down several stairs, shocked by her ankle, which was bent at an odd angle. And the blanket with the ingot wasn't there. She had let go of it the instant she fell, and it had disappeared somewhere into the darkness. Only the gun was left. Now you gotta abandon it. Tremors in the earth were getting closer. It was only a matter of time before the goat heads flooded in. She didn't want to imagine how many there would be, or how strange they would look. No, keep running. Run with your broken ass ankle. The lightly dancing gold pursuers arrived. The gold butterflies surrounded Rosa and Maria, waving and clamoring as though saying, "The prize is here. The prize is here." Rosa couldn't even try to get up. The violent pain from her broken ankle was so great that she couldn't ignore it, even in her last moments. What am I doing? I had the gold, which would have been worth several million yen. I might have been able to start over with that. And yet I fell, lost it, and now my own life is in danger, and Maria's too? What has my life been? I was born into an incomprehensible family, with irritating older siblings since the day I was born. What did I do? No matter what I did or didn't do, I was always in trouble and bullied and made fun of. What has my life been? That's a good question, actually. The roar inside Rosa's heart shriveled away and disappeared. It disappeared when she heard Maria's crying voice as she sobbed and clung to Rosa.
Maria, Mama, ちょっと用事を思い出したの。先に行っててちょうだい。
You dumb bitch. Damn, to the very end.
ママと一緒がいい。ママが死んじゃ嫌だ。マリアはこんな悪いママでもママと一緒がいいと言ってくれるの。ママと一緒がいい。ママと一緒がいい。
Which really does say a lot about their relationship here. This is a bit of an eye-opener in some ways. Damn. Honestly, that is kind of sweet.
邪魔だからいてほしくないマリアは別人じゃないの。マリアもたった一人のマリアなの。だから怖いママも優しいママも一緒。
For better or for worse.
マリアにはたった一人のママなの。私はなんてバカだったの。
Yes,
100%。ただあなただけの手を引いていればよかった。私はなんて
Oh, here they come. The shadows of the goats covered the sky even more thoroughly than the trees of the forest. Their roars blotted out the world with fear. Rose is still hugging Maria, readied her gun with one hand. Interesting statement too. I don't know if that was a hint, probably not, but kind of odd to bring that up right now. But then again, that is Maria, and she's known to bring up shit randomly. She had bought it as a birthday present, and then hadn't played it with Maria after that first night. I don't know, there was like so many things that were constantly brought up in this episode. The devil's proof, the wolves and sheep puzzle. You know, they constantly got brought up again and again and again, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me overthinking, but how can I not? Those eyes sparkling like red-hot lava looked just like a group of fireflies. They danced, closed in, and attacked. And specifically that. Oh, okay. Cool. Yep, none left yet again. As is tradition at this point. And I think that is the end of episode 2. Yep. I didn't click away from that, by the way. That just popped up for like a split second, and then that was it. I didn't even get to read that. Thanks, game. Thank you. But it's okay. I forgive you, game. There we go. Well, nope, never mind. See, I'm actually not hitting anything. This is just kind of popping up. New elements added. Golden Witches prepared a gift in commemoration of your recent sojourn. The new elements may be accessed from the title screen. Ooh, I love new shit. All right. Well, we have a new entry to the tea party, and then we'll have a new entry here. But I think we should go through the tea party, go through this, and then maybe look at other things in case there are other things to really look at before we really close off episode 2 here, as well as me giving my thoughts, whatever lingering predictions and ideas I have, which are most definitely getting squashed the further we go. God fucking damn it. I gotta really stop, forgetting that will pop up every time. But yes, let us venture into the tea party so we can have another 2-hour-long video. And I would ask for nothing more. But first we go to the Purple Land. I was just going to say Purgatory, but no, Purple Land is better. Hello, Rosa. Rosa awoke from her doze. It must have been a very deep sleep. Yeah, something like that. Her mind was hazy and she wasn't thinking clearly. Where is this? Good question. It felt like some mansion, but it didn't seem to be the Ushiromiya mansion. She could see a room that looked like a parlor, and there was some tea that had been prepared. It had probably been made for her. Let's drink it. Around the room, some glitter that looked like gold leaf drifted about, making the scene look quite fantastical. When she eventually realized that they were gold butterflies, it further strengthened that impression. Well, Rosa was the one here in this episode that left actually being the one that did not believe in the witch, where I think everybody else besides Battler were the ones in episode 1. There was someone across from her. A woman. A lady. It was the portrait's witch. She seemed to be having a one-sided conversation. Is there something to gather from that? Was that a character's update? Do I want to look at that right now? Everybody's just fucking dead. But then there's the lack of... There's the obvious lack of the woman here. Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. No. What are we lacking? We're lacking Battler. Battler's missing. Rosa's right here. Okay, wait a minute. So, yeah, let's actually read the characters here. I think in episode 1, I read these, before we ventured into episode 2. So, yeah, let's check these out. Kinzo, missing, finally reached the golden land he so desired. The idiot was once again unwilling to accept that, so the magic was spoiled for a second time. Even so, he was probably happy. After all, he managed to be reunited with the Golden Witch, if only for a brief time. Afterwards, he was crunched to pieces and eaten by demons and went to hell. Yeah, everybody else has died in their own special way, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that is the case. We do have Beatrice, the golden witch who has lived for 1,000 years and all that, likes black tea. Okay, yeah, we already know her details. Everything there's the same. Just lack of Battler. That's crazy. Let's see. Rosa, missing. In the golden land, she finally found a treasure more precious to her than gold. However, that was short-lived. Thanks to the idiot, she would once again have to lose that which she had finally found. Afterwards, she was chewed into a pulp by demons and went to hell. Wait a minute. So, by the idiot, we are referring to Battler, I'm pretty goddamn sure. Maria, missing. In the golden land, she learned that her mama still loves her. Satisfied for now. Not too much information there, huh? Genji, missing. The unselfish piece of furniture sought nothing but repose in the golden land. However, since the idiot stubbornly rejects the golden land, his repose is unlikely to come anytime soon. Afterwards, he was munched to pieces and eaten by demons and went to hell. This is also interesting, because it really is basically all saying that this is Battler's fault. Anyways, she seemed to be having a one-sided conversation. Actually, wait, was anything updated in the tips whatsoever? Letter from the Witch 4. Oh, wait, no, okay, we've already read that. Anything in the grimoire? No, okay. So I want to make sure that we're fully up to speed here. She was probably talking to Rosa, but Rosa, whose mind was clouded up by a deep fog, didn't have a clue of what was being said.
その強運への褒美と思うもよかろうし、わらわの求めに対する正当な対価と考えてもよい。そなたにとっては、しかしわらわにとっては、それだけ意味がある取引だということだ。
What is she talking about? Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
ただ、せっかくわらわは魔女なのだから、魔女にしか叶えられない願いを求めるのが利口ではないかと思うぞ。せっかくの機会ではないか、この黄金のベアトリーチェから恩恵を得られるなど。
Oh man, I would kill to receive a favor from Beatrice the Golden. Finally, Rosa started to feel the blood flowing through her body. Her movements were still sluggish, and she couldn't even voice the words that she was thinking.
わらわの通り名は金蔵に与えたように、山なす黄金を与えることは造作もない。何しろ人の世の快楽はすべて金で換算できる。
Money is king, after all.
すなわち黄金こそが人の世の快楽そのものなのだ。そなたは想像ができるか？生涯をかけても使い切れぬ黄金の山が。
As the witch blew on her pipe, multicolored smoke enshrouded their surroundings. Oh, where are we going? Hey, yo, that's a lot of gold. As she did this, the inside of the parlor was suddenly filled with stacks of gold ingots. It looked like a shining gold-colored wall. If each ingot, was worth several 10 million yen, how much would all of this be worth? It seemed sinful to even think of such a number.
しかし、人の世は難しい。どれほど空高く積み上げた黄金であろうとも、満たされぬものがあることを知っている。埋められぬ隙間があることを知っている。わらわはそれをないがしろにしないし、それこそが魔女であるわらわにしか与えられぬ褒美であると考えている。
Honestly, I'll give a good example as to which gold can't really buy, or money in general, and that is like true emotions and feelings of people. You know, people always do say you can't buy happiness, and then you joke back saying, well, I can get rid of all my debts, and, you know, I can buy a nice, beautiful house, and I don't have to ever worry about money again. And yeah, that'll bring some momentary happiness for sure. You cannot doubt that, but what after, you know? You can't buy the love off of another person, somebody that will be with you for the rest of your life. You can't buy the, I guess, further happiness that can only be attained by living your life with good friends and your family. I didn't mean to get a little philosophical there, but it is true.
わらわにしか与えられぬものだ。そなたもさぞや喜ぼう。口にせずともよい。そなたの心の隙間など顔に書いてあるからすぐにわかる。
I still have no idea what she's even talking about. Rosa felt a touch of discomfort at this witch, who kept on talking even though Rosa hadn't uttered a single word. But since she still couldn't manage to speak, and was so helpless that it was difficult to even move a finger, she couldn't do anything but listen.
そなたの深き心の傷はどこまで遡れば癒せるのか。これは深い、深い。
It's like she's having a conversation with somebody that we can't perceive or something. And who that somebody is, I don't know. I guess we have to keep tuning in until we get some sort of hint that tells us who it may be. If it's Rosa or somebody else. As the witch spoke, she stared deep into Rosa's eyes. What in the world was she peering at? Rosa felt uncomfortable, but she couldn't look away. Maybe it is Rosa that she's talking to. Even so, there really isn't a response coming from Rosa. Rosa was gradually being sucked into the witch's eyes. These goddamn butterflies will never leave me alone. Then the world grew dark, spinning round and round as she was sucked in. That does happen. You guys ever stand still and just, like, spin around, like, a bunch of times? Do you guys think we'll get to the, you guys think we'll get to the Golden Land if we do that? Oh, that's Kraus Nissan's voice. Kraus Nissan is a real adult, so he's very smart. So he hated the stupid kid Rosa. He was a very scary person. I was often hit and my toys were taken from me and broken. I was apparently being punished for something bad that I had done, but I never really understood what it was or why I was being punished. I was always punished suddenly, and then later told what that punishment was for in a forced manner, but it was always something I didn't remember doing. So I really hated Kraus Nissan. Are we going through the whole family here or something? All the siblings? I do feel like Rosa's upbringing was really fucked up and very unfortunate, which is probably what led to her being very abusive as well. Like, not, again, I've said this before, not to ever really give an excuse for somebody being abusive, especially to their child, like what we saw with Rosa, but usually there's a reason for everything, right? So I'd like to believe that there was a reason for Rosa being the way she was, and there's a lot of hints that point to her siblings and upbringing overall. That's Eva Nissan's voice. Eva Nissan is a real adult, so she's very smart. So she hated the stupid kid Rosa. And I hate Eva. She was always a very sly person, and she often lied to me, tricked me, bullied me all the time. Apparently I was stupid, and she said it was only natural for stupid people to be swindled by those smarter than them. And so I wanted to become a wise person like Eva Nissan. And listen to what she had said, but when I obeyed her for some reason, someone always got really mad at me. I think it's Nissan, actually, excuse me. Messing up my honorific pronunciations. So I really hated Eva Nissan. Yeah, it's Kraus Nissan and Eva Nissan, right? E is pronounced A. I is pronounced E. Don't worry, guys, I got this. We're in for the long haul in this video, too. Don't worry, I remember the episode 1 finale. That was fucking rough. I did not expect to be recording as long as I did. That is Rudolf Nissan's voice. There we go. Rudolf Nissan really knows how to get things done. So he hated the stupid kid Rosa. When Kraus Nissan was around, he would be friendly with Kraus Nissan. When Eva Nissan was around, he would be friendly with Eva Nissan. And when Kraus Nissan wasn't around, he would be violent like Kraus Nissan. And when Eva Nissan wasn't around, he would play dirty like Eva Nissan. And even though he was also bullied most of the time, when Kraus Nissan and Eva Nissan weren't around, he gave me 2 people's worth of bullying. So I really hated Rudolf Nissan. Oh, but these were my memories from when I was a kid. It's common for unfair things to happen between kids, and you mustn't hold onto grudges for such things forever. With time, those memories get buried away, and forgetting them bit by bit is supposed to be part of growing up and becoming an adult. So becoming an adult is the same as separating yourself from all those memories? And because of that, no matter how much time had passed, Rosa couldn't become an adult. Even though she had been blessed with a daughter called Maria and was called a mother, she didn't at all feel like she had become an adult. The witch pitied her for that, and she smiled, saying that she could heal that pain herself.
どうやって癒すのか可能ではあるが簡単ではない。時間を巻き戻し、そなたに兄と姉がいなかった世界を与えることもできよう。しかしそれでは、そなたは兄と姉に苦しめられた記憶が残らず、ゆえにそれをもって褒美であると言われても、
That's always a rough
納得
one
はできまい。
with like overcoming something, and it involves like undoing time or redoing time. It's as if your hard work, everything that you went through has kind of been like erased or whatever, but your new self doesn't have to go through it. So it's kind of a gift, but also like there's a negative side to it in a way. Related, but not necessarily the same. I think she's telling me something really complicated. In short, even if she makes it so I never had older siblings, that wouldn't remove my pain. Maybe that's what she's saying. Strictly speaking, and that's not quite right. Healing isn't the same thing as removing pain. It's the pleasure we earn as compensation for withstanding pain. Therefore, removing the pain isn't healing. To know the joy of healing, you have to know the pain.
そなたの痛みに報いる喜びがいる。そなたは苦難の過去を誇っていい。苦難を知らぬ者には味わいの快楽を知る資格があるからだ。この快楽を知る者は同じ喜びを他者にも与えずにはいられなくなる。
When the witch snapped her fingers, even though the room was still filled with a mountain of gold and had already lost all semblance of reality, a fabulous tablecloth appeared on top of the table, and a wonderful meal was laid out, almost as though it was the opening of a banquet in a castle from some fairy tale. For an instant, Rosa truly did feel a pleasurable surprise at how fabulous it was, but at the same time, she felt a bit of anticlimax. After all, she didn't think being bullied by her siblings could be wiped away by just one meal, no matter how delicious. Again, momentary happiness, maybe.
生涯生き続ける限り豚のように食い続けなくてはならぬ。一食で足りなければいくらでも。その心の痛みが癒えるまで美食の宴を続けようではないか。始めろ、家具ども。
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. As the witch clapped twice, there were suddenly two goat-head servants there, and they began to prepare the meal. We really are in the Golden Land, aren't we? Or we're somewhere else. We're definitely not where we were. From the beautiful dishes adorning the table, they efficiently took some food and began to pile it up on Rosa's plate. It really did look delicious, but Rosa's body still felt as heavy as lead, and there was no way that she'd be able to eat. Maybe they also understood that. The goat-head servants tied a napkin around Rosa's collar and gallantly brought a glass of before-dinner alcohol to her mouth, tilting it for her. She remembered an old servant who had once carried rice porridge to her mouth when she was laid up with a high fever. She couldn't drink it well, and it dripped down from her mouth, but she felt the fragrant sweetness spread throughout her mouth.
ドイツ産の貴腐ワインにあやかった甘きアペリティフよ。白ワインを赤きゴールデンドロップで染めたワインカクテルだ。名付けるならば、ブラッディ・クラウス。
Oh my god, here we go. This is what this is.
そなたの兄を圧搾機にかけて絞り出した血のゴ
You know,
ー
we
ルデ
kind
ンドロッ
of
プだ
did
け
get a
で
hint
染
of
めて
this
ある。
with Kinzo being munched and everything. Rosa coughed violently, and the bright red that stained her face made it look as though she had coughed up blood.
そなたは紅茶に詳しかろうから意味がわかろう。ゴールデンドロップとは最後の一滴のことだ。
Oh yeah?
紅茶で最も貴重な一滴と言われている。そして血のゴールデンドロップも同じ。人間から絞り出せる血液の貴重なる最後の一滴。あれにて絞る。
As the witch snapped her fingers, a bright red veil that had been set up before something large was removed, excuse me. The solemn and massive machine there was just like a coffin for a large-sized person, with many large bulb-like things stuck to it, and it looked like a sinister torture device. What is this? By its unnerving shape, she could tell that with a human strength it could be used to tighten and compress something, and it seemed that there were still some squeezed dregs remaining because of the bright red remains that stained it.
しかしゴールデンドロップは一度に一滴しか取れぬ。 どんな人間からも一滴以上は取れぬというわけだ。しかしわらわは魔女。人を蘇らせることも
Oh
またた
man.
やすい。
When the witch snapped her fingers, the human compressor suddenly began to shake. No. She could also hear a groan. It looked almost as though someone sleeping in that man-sized coffin had woken up and was now struggling to get out. But that was wrong. What was inside definitely had been squeezed dregs. Using her magic, the witch had once again revived the squeezed dregs to how they had been before they were squeezed. 3 goat-head servants with muscular physiques approached the compressor and forcefully started tightening the large bulb. As they did, an unearthly moan came from inside the coffin. Rosa thought she knew the owner of that voice. Is it Kraus? I mean, we just drank a little bit of his blood. Who's being squeezed dry here? It's probably the worst way to describe that, but or ask that question. I guess the better question would have been like, who's in there getting, you know, killed over and over again?
お分かりいただけたかな。それを集め、それほどに赤く染めるには何十人分も絞らなければならぬ。
The witch definitely said that only 1 golden drop could be taken from a single human. And yet she had dozens of people's worth of golden drops from a single human. Only a witch could do this. The golden witch Beatrice could kill a single human endlessly. In other words, before Beatrice, even death did not mean freedom.
二口目はいらぬか。この男に殴られて口中に滲んだ血を飲み込んだ日を忘れたか。そうそう、あの味を思い
I
出せ。
mean, I know what she's trying to do here.
こぼし尽くして枯れ果てた涙の味を思い出せ。その悔しき
Well,
思い出
maybe.
を
I
癒
don't
して
know if
借
it's
りるアペティブ
necessarily
にな
like
ると信じ
a
ている。
revenge thing or whatever for the sake of Rosa. It is fucked up, though, all in all. Once again, the goat-head servants tilted a deep red glass against her mouth. Rosa tried resisting by closing her lips, but the deep red liquid was relentlessly poured into her mouth, which hung open with shock. And the inside of her mouth was filled with a ghastly sweetness. It definitely was a fragrant sweetness, the living blood of her brother, who had given her such hateful thoughts and made her soak her pillow so many times, had been collected from his death, repeated dozens of times. How could the crimson-stained wine not be sweet? But Rosa tried to spit it out. Because of that, the deep red wine that spilled out of Rosa's mouth looked just like a blood stain. Now that she knew that this ghastly substance wasn't a simple aperitif? Rosa couldn't help but feel uncomfortable about what would happen if this banquet continued. I feel like whenever fancy words like that pop up, it just makes me realize, damn, I really am fucking stupid. It's like, damn, did I ever take an English class? Did I ever read like a book or anything? I actually have no idea what she said there. Hold on. I was too busy, you know, being negative about myself. Whoa. Okay. Yikes. When Rosa heard the true nature of the pink-colored meat piled up in the salad, she had a sudden impulse to vomit her guts out. Damn, we're going one by one, aren't we? Furthermore, the goat servant stuck a fork in it and carried it to Rosa's mouth. That's awful. I still really hate this scene here. This is terrifying. It probably would be quite sweet, soft, and enchanting in her mouth. After all, Ava's lies were always sweet, and young Rosa had always listened to them. And you might say the stimulating pepper seasoning expressed the truth, or yeah, the truth behind those lies as well, or lies well. As the tongue salad that kept being pushed into Rosa's mouth was covered with saliva, she spat it out. But the goat head servants carefully returned it to the plate and carried it to Rosa's mouth over and over again.
言うに及ばず、そのサラダにはエヴァの舌を5枚も惜しげなく使っている。舌は1人から1枚しか奪えない。
Yeah, you revived her and
しかしわらわ
everything.
なら何度でも奪える。
That, or, you know, Ava may have had multiple tongues. You know, she was a twisted person. As Rosa's tears dripped down, she resisted frantically. However, the only way she could resist was by refusing to swallow. Even if she didn't swallow it, the taste of the French dressing increasingly permeated Rosa's mouth. Jesus Christ. I should have like a pie thrown in my face every time I like slip up with a word. Oh, lovely. Oh, of course not.
お前が信頼し、にもかかわらず裏切った人間たちをふんだんに調理した。この宴を、そなたの心が満足するまで永遠に続けようではないか。
Oh, I'm sure Beatrice has like a ridiculous amount of ideas for how meals can be prepared and such.
いいんだぜ。ここには。お前が気にする世間体も対面も何にもない。
Oh, is that so?
存分の大笑いして食い散らかせよ。最高の宴だろ。
Damn, what did I say, guys? We had quite the banquet coming up for us in this video. We've been seeing a whole lot of wicked stuff though in this one. Hey, at least she's actually able to say something now. Kinda. Oh no, it's gonna be really bad, isn't it? No, yep. I had a feeling. I had a big ass feeling. Pretending to love. Aww.
こいつを食べればお前は全てから解放される。自由だよ、自由。やっとローザという一人の人間として自由を得るんだよ。嬉しいだろ。嬉しい。
I wonder if this is like
よだれが垂れてるぜ。鏡を見てみろよ。
like I don't know, payback or something? I don't know. I mean, nothing is fair here, obviously. Rosa obviously didn't have the fairest of upbringings. Oh, shit. And now she's having to go through this torment. It's like, damn, nobody wins. Suddenly, a muscular goat cook was holding Maria under his arm. And Maria gazed at Rosa with a face that was only slightly sad.
Mama, Maria no koto, jama datta?
At times.
Jama janai.
As Rosa spat out the food that was continually being carried to her mouth, as she was covered with filth and saliva and blood, she resisted filthily and screamed.
Mama ga Maria no koto jama nara, Maria, taberarete mo heiki. Datte, Maria wa itsumo mama ni hidoi koto bakari. Mama ga otoko no hito o tsurete kuru toki mo shizuka ni dekinakatta.
Oh
ママが男の
no.
人とお泊まりしてくるとき、寂しくて暴れてお部屋を台無しにした。勝手に探しに行って迷子になって警察のお世話になってママに恥をか
Damn,
か
maybe
せ
she
た。
is a burden.
何日も帰ってこなくて
I mean, this is obviously all to mess with Rosa. This is from her perspective. This is all in Rosa's mind in a sense. This is all extracted from her
ママの
from
迷
her
惑になっ
thoughts.
てる。生まれてきてごめんなさい。だからマリアはママのために美味しいリンゴのオーブン焼きになるの。そしたらママに初めてマリアがいてよかったって
No,
思
that
っても
hurts.
らえるかな。
That does hurt.
マリアを食べて美味しかったって思ってもらえるかな。
美味しいよね。感類にむせべよ。娘がここまで行ってるぜ。マナ娘とリンゴのオーブン焼きなんて最高のデザート。これだけ美味しい食材に育てられるなんて、あんた最高の母親だぜ。
Oh, she's a real winner.
後ろ見
Don't you worry, Beatrice. I wonder what this is all supposed to like. Oh my god. I do wonder what this is supposed to all like accomplish here. What this is supposed to tell us.
バイバイ。 違うの。もうやめて。もうやめて。
You know what? I think I was actually equally confused back in the episode 1 Tea Party too, so it's all good.
もうやめて。もう許して。いやー、やめて。口に入れないで。
This is so nasty, honestly. Just nasty to even hear. Really good voice acting, honestly.
我がもてなしに満足してもらえたか。ならばそなたには認めてもらおう。わらわが魔女であることを宣言せよ。後宮ローザは
Yeah, she was the supposed last one.
と宣言せよ。
Oh, that was easy.
認めます。後宮ローザはベアトリーチェを魔女だと認めます。だからラリを返して。私を解放して。
And so Beatrice wins again, or something like that. I don't know.
ついに認めさせたぞ。小賢しきバトラはすでに屈服し、黄金鏡に招かれながらわらわを否定する愚か者ローザにも認めさせた。完璧だ。
Wait, no, that didn't happen.
It's perfect.
Hey, good English.
成し遂げたぞ。
No, the battler from episode 1 has not, you
さ
know,
あマリアを連
admitted
れて
defeat
行け
yet.
ローザに美味なオーブン焼きを振る舞ってやれ。
Damn, that was
うまそうだな。
yeah. Here we go.
俺にはてめえの牛乳をスライスしてサンドイッチを作ってくれ。
Wow. All right, that's quite the statement.
その声は。
An arm grabbed the back of the witch's head and smashed her face into the table. As it did, the witch broke to pieces, turned into a cloud of gold butterflies, and reformed into her body a short distance away. Yeah, I was gonna say, Battler didn't, you know, admit defeat whatsoever here.
バトラ
The Battler in episode 2 did.
貴様家具となって魂まで屈服していたはず。
そのつもりだったんだがな。てめえの趣味の悪いレシピに耳を貸してるうちに腹が減ってきちまってよ。魔女の丸焼きが食いたくなってきちまったのさ。
Nice.
それからマリア、自分を食べてなんてセリフは10年早えぜ。ただし10年経ったら必ず俺に言えよ。約束だぞ。
Huh? What?
約束する。
Yeah, I'm also just gonna remain oblivious to that shit. What the fuck?
バトラ君。
待たせたな、ローザおばさん。俺は忘れてたぜ。こいつは俺とこの女の一騎打ちだったんだ。
It really is.
俺が屈するわけには断じていかなかったんだ。ローザおばさんが粘ってくれたおかげで再び戦う気力を取り戻せたぜ。
This person, he gave up down to the depths of his soul and surrendered to me, didn't he? I see. He doesn't know when to give up, just what I would expect from Ushiromiya Kinzo's grandchild. So the chick of a phoenix is a phoenix after all. Yeah, I've played Final Fantasy.
この後ろ宮バトラ、
I mean, we've seen it a bit before.
立ち上がる男だってことを教えてやれ。
Battler did have some low
俺は
moments here
喧
in
嘩で無
episode
敵だっ
2,
た試しはね。
outside the scope of the story,
何
that
度か
is.
は負けてる。だがな、必ず泥を吸って立ち上がる。そして必ず蹴りをつける。男の喧嘩はな、負けを認めない限りどれだけ叩きのめされようと負けじゃねえんだよ。一本取られただけで俺が参ると思うなよ。楽しませてやるぜ、ベアトリーチャー。
Oh, yes, he will.
受けて立とうぞ後宮バトラー。家具ども、次なるゲームの準備を始めよ。その間に貴様にはたっぷりと聞かせてもらおうではないか。こたびのゲームでは密室も多いぞ。そなたの逃げ工場のほとんどをわらわが赤で叩き潰した。
Yeah, I really don't know how we can explain a lot of these. I mean, the first one we were able to figure out, but Beatrice kind of fucked up on letting too many details out. But yeah, we haven't actually solved the mystery of the chapel because we've only put together what could have happened. We haven't really put out a culprit. I swear, he says that way too often. Okay, what do we got? Anything? Or are we just done? Nope, okay, I guess we're just done with that for now. All right, cool. I mean, I still want to believe that there was a, I don't know. The whole idea of there not being, like, a way out, like a hidden exit or whatever, or a hidden door, and the definition behind that was very much, vague. Like, there was a lot of ambiguity to it, so I feel like that is, like, very important. Can I not skip this? I don't remember if I was able to skip this last time. I don't think I was. Perfect time to just talk, then. I don't remember what I did for episode 1. Oh, this is... Okay. This is sung, so this is a real song. This is copyright. Yeah, I guess let's just wait till the credits are over, and then I'll, continue on. Damn, that was actually a very nice song. That was beautiful, actually. Just kind of sitting here, going through my thoughts and everything. That was a nice song. Like, it was nice. I've got nothing else to say other than nice, I guess. That was a good song. And now that I've organized my thoughts, I won't know what to say anymore. If I had anything queued up, it's definitely not queued up anymore, right? And there we go. There we go. The unknown and the void again. And I love it that way. Absolutely. All right, well, we know what we're going to tackle. And then after that, I guess we will be done with episode 2 for realsies. Yeah, let's get this out of the way here. Maybe we will avoid a 2-hour-long video. I darn sure hope so, at least. All right, what does the void have in store for us this time around? Hello, Beatrice. And Burn Castile.
これは相変わらずお点が辛い。退屈を愛さないベルンカステル教にふさわしい迫力ある展開だったと自負していただけに、これは手厳しい。
I mean, yeah, I would also argue that a lot of this is still very much one-sided.
迫力についてはまあ認めるわ。ただフェアなゲームとしてはひどいものね。もう少し対等な条件でないと。
勝ち目がないと言われるか?
No, I'm sure there's a way to win, but like, it's still very complicated as to what we have going on here.
どういう意味かしら、ベアト。
ごまかさなくてもよい。すでに知っておるぞ。そなたが傍観者でない。
Oh yeah. You see, at the end of episode 1, I barely remember her saying that she was actually going to help out a little bit or some shit.
隠し通せているつもりか? そなたは人の領地まではるばるやって。
I don't really know how she helped out, but
逆の目に貼る不届き者よ。
no, apparently she was there
わらわ
somewhere.
のゲームを傍観するつもりでいて、わらわの敗北に熱く張っておるのだろうが、図星であろう。
だったら。
Damn.
実に面白い。あのラムダデルタ教を退けた最強の魔女ベルンカステル教と戦える機会を賜れるとは本当に愉快よ。
Damn, imagine being named Lambda Delta.
私も愉快よ。
Could not be
自信
me.
満々のあなたがボロボロに負けるところが見たくてはるばるやってきたんだもの。
なんと素直なお人なのか。それにしてもわらわと大ベルンカステル教との対決をただの一人の感染者もなくというのは いくらなんでももったいないというもの。
Oh yeah? What does that mean?
呼んだのね、
Oh, we're gonna meet another witch?
あの子。
Who do we got? Who are we meeting this time around? Ah, fuck. Never mind. Throw her away. God fucking damn it.
見つけたわよ。ようやく見つけたわ。
So this is Lambda Delta.
それで天狗になって、よりにもよってベアトリーチェに喧嘩を売るとは、身の程知らずもいいとこね。ベアトリーチェは強いわよ。
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
私より残酷だしね。ほんのちょびっと。あとそれと、人のことを勝手にラムだって略さないで。
Oh, I thought that was official. I thought that was an official, like, shortening of her name.
この子は、あんたのゲームであっても、しっちゃかめっちゃかにするわよ。
ラムダデルタ教には決してギャラリーとしてだけお呼びしたのではない。
The chime that something got updated. I don't know if we can view this right now. We can actually view the witches. I don't think anything has changed here with Beatrice or Byrne, so... I don't want to shorten her name. Byrne Castile. Yeah, I'm not shortening names, actually. Just like I'm not calling Beatrice Beato. No, I'm on no friendly terms with any of these witches. But yes, let's learn about Lambda Delta here. The Witch of Certainty, who has lived for 1,000 years. She embodies the idea that hard workers are rewarded, and is highly respected even by humans. Though she is a witch, she does not stray far from the concepts of humans. For that reason, her power as one worshipped by humans is incalculable. However, she is fickle about whose efforts she chooses to reward, and in many cases she bestows her favor upon those who can please her the most. Her massive, swift, and terrifying power can cause any witch to submit in an instant. However, she is often reckless, and Byrne Castile was able to take full advantage of that. I don't think anything has changed here with Lambda Delta. I think everything is the same, but if you guys want to do a quick little reread, there you go. However, I do not require a reread, even so I probably don't remember anything.
あんた、まだ根に持ってるのね。
Please don't do that laugh. Please do not do that laugh. Cackle like Beatrice or some shit, please.
だからあんたと敵対する相手は誰であっても私を味方するんだから。
I don't know how to feel about her.
というわけだ。
I don't really even know how to feel about Byrne Castile and Beatrice to a huge extent too. I don't know how to feel about anything. I can't wait to not be able to take away anything from all this again.
私も本格的にやらせてもらうわ。
Ayo?
それがよかろう。もとより、わらわの辞書に手加減の文字はないのでな。
Well, yeah, because that's a term, not a word.
こちらこそよろしくよ、ベアトリーチェ卿。こいつには私も散々に栄養飲まされてるの。私たち二人で叩き潰して2倍でお返ししなきゃ腹の虫が収まんないのよ。こちらこそよろしくよ、ラムダ、そしてベアと。どういう勝敗になろうとも、これは私たちにとってとても有意義な戦いになるわね。
Let's get more colorful looking witches involved.
そうね。
With all these different personalities,
もちろん負ける気はないけ
please.
ど、私たちには勝敗以上に意義がある。
何しろわらわたちは。
The three witches giggled, cackled, and guffawed. If that's what you want to call that sound effect, or a mix of sound effects.
感謝するわ、ベアト。やっと退屈から逃れられそうだわ。せいぜい私を楽しませなさい。
It's just trying to escape boredom with all these witches, honestly.
そうさせてもらう。
Especially Beatrice. Especially Byrne Castile. No idea about this Lambda
そう
Delta
と決ま
here.
ればベアト、早速作戦会議をするわよ。その子の弱点は知り尽くしてる。それをすべて伝授してあげるわ。
にもかかわらずラムダデルタ教はお破れになられたと。
もう教えてあげない教えてあげない。
Say what? I don't know how to really take all that, but
退
okay.
屈しない御人であるな、ラムダデルタ教は。
でしょ、面倒をよろしくね。あれで寂しがり屋なのよ。
なるほど、今流行りのなんとかというやつか。
What is those?
さすがはラムダデルタ教、最先端でおられる。
もう行きなさいよ、あの子。あなたが追っかけてくるの待ってるわよ。
それでは失礼しよう。また次のゲームにて。
Yeah, I wonder what's going to be different there, because I didn't see anything obvious this time around from Burn Castile.
ごめんなさいね。
No need to be.
厄介なのが来たけど気にしないで。それよりひどいことになったわね。
You don't say.
私もラムダとのゲームでだいぶ悲惨な末路というのを経験してきたつもりでいるけど、今回のは群を抜いてひどいわ。あなたが膝を抱いて心を閉ざしてしまう気持ちもわからなくない。
How'd you
こん
know?
な末路
How'd she know
あと
that?
何度もやられたら
It's literally how I sit
100年
whenever
も
I
待たず
record.
に心が殺されてしまうわ。
I sit like L from Death
ベア
Note.
トにカンパされてしまったから白状する。今のあなたはかつてラ
Oh,
ムダ
wait
の
a
世界
fucking
に囚
minute.
われていた頃の
Hey, yo, wait a
私にそ
minute.
っくりなの。
What's this track called? Over the Sky? Now we have heard this we've heard this before, at least I have. Sorry to all you guys watching that have never gone through Higurashi.
過酷な運命の迷路に閉じ込められ魔女にいいようにいたぶられている。私はそこから生まれた魔女だから、あなたの姉に当たるのかもしれない。
Nah, I don't
だ
want
から
that.
あなたに力を貸そうと決めたの。しかし私の運命に比べてもあなたのそれはあまりにもむごい。同情どころか涙までもらってしまいそうな。でもどうかくじけないで。
No, I already am.
ベアトになんか決して屈しないで。
It's gonna be a long next couple episodes to try and figure out what's going on here.
あの子のゲームはあまりに卑劣。
Or I guess more so to get the puzzle pieces lined up in some sort of way.
ゲーム版を少しだけ見させてもらったけど、相手の指し手から手の内を探ろうとしている私たちにとって
Or flipping that
これは非
chessboard.
常に手強い情報のノイズ。厄介な撹乱になりうるわ。しかし
Yep, there it is.
チェスに例えるなら無駄な一手は相手にノイズを与えるかもしれないけれど、貴重な一手を損していることに違いはない。つまり
I wonder if one day I'll ever learn how to play that
付け入れ値は
game.
ゼロじゃないってこと。
It'll probably be long after I'm done with
あな
Umineko
たに
here.
も信じられないだろう
So I
け
won't
ど
be able to put
今回
together all
のゲー
the
ムもそう。
references and all that.
あれだけ圧倒的な展開に見えて実は隙がある。つけ込ませたいかのように隙がある。それが罠なのかこちらを試しているのかわからないけども、とにかく屈服しないで。
No, no, I
思考
already
を止
am.
めないで。
I'm always trying to think, but I don't think I'm thinking in the right direction.
あらゆる可能性を否定しないで。
I'm also trying to, I'm trying to think of every possibility I can. And that's the difficult part. And I'll bring this up, again here shortly, but it is so difficult whenever we're trying to... We're basically kind of doing the opposite here. In reality, you can pretty well, disprove, the existence of, paranormal activity or whatever, because, yeah, we know that's not real. Reality is real. We know what's in the realm of, what is real and what is just fiction and definitely not real. But here it's a little flipped. It seems to be a situation where, yes, witches and all that do absolutely exist and have sprung up on the family and the servants here on Rokkenjima. What we're trying to do is we're trying to prove the opposite, as if people in our world, in reality, outside of the game, I don't know how to properly, discuss this without getting my own self tongue-tied and twisted, but it's as if somebody was actually trying to prove that ghosts, Bigfoot, and all that were actually real. It's completely opposite. So it's kind of hard to come up with predictions and all that, because it is flipped. It's the complete other way.
勝とうとするより負けないようにしなさい。認めたら負けなら断じて認めてはダメ。あなたに魔女を認めさせること、これがベアトリーチェの勝利条件の一つであることはもはや疑いようもないのだから。私もあなたの味方であると公言した以上。
Yes, please. Anything you can do, honestly. You are my game shark.
もしまだ膝を抱いているなら。
I'll try.
こういう時、なんて言ったかしら。
Roll the dice or whatever. Oh my god. No fucking way. God damn it. Oh my god, bro.
恥ずかしいわね。これ。
That's insane.
私がここまでしてあげたんだから。
I like that.
早く立ち直りなさいよね。
It's a nice little tie back. Again, sorry for all you losers out there that have never gone through Higurashi to experience a Nipa.
いたいた。
Oh fuck.
ベルンはいじけてどっか行っちゃったかしら。本当にざまあないったらありゃしない。
I think you're equally lame, if not worse.
それにしても相変わらずベルンが選ぶ駒はしょぼいわね。チェスだってそうでしょ。駒が全部ポーンだったら勝ち目ゼロでしょ。駒が全部ルークやビショップだったら絶対負けやしないわ。
Again, I don't know anything about chess, so I guess?
まあ前回は私がついつい哀れになって好きな場所から駒を進めていいわよって言ったら、ベルンのやつお情けの空気も読めずに手持ちのポーンを全部入場させた状態から始めて、何よあれ、あんなの負けでもなんでもないんだから。ああ、思い出しただけでもムカムカするわ。
Calm down now.
そんなわけでこの私はベルンがギャフンとする顔を見ないと腹の虫が収まらないわけ。そんなわけなんでベルンの駒のあんたがそんなざまなんで、私は最高にいい気分なわけ。
Thank you.
しかもあの子はあれでいて本当に負けず嫌いだから、きっと今頃悔しくって歯ぎしりをして涙をポロポロ流してるわよ。本当にざまあないわよ。ほら、あんたも一緒に笑い
I'm
な
not
さい
laughing
よ。
with you. Especially that laugh. I am more than
ちょ
good.
っと、あんたまだ膝を抱いてるの？ベアトにちょっと本気出されたくらいでもうそのざまなの？情けないったらありゃしない。あんまり情けないからちょっとだけ力を貸してあげるわ。
Damn, we're getting help from the enemy?
こ
Alright.
の宇宙最強で絶対の魔女である大ラムダデルタ卿があんたの絶望的な勝率をほんのちょっぴりだけ絶対に近づけてやるわ。感謝なさい。ベアトリーチェはね、確かに残酷で強力な魔女かもしれないけれど、
And yet you're teaming up with
この私の敵じゃ
her,
ない。
right?
なぜか甘いからよ。あの子はあと数手でチェックメイトできる局面を作りつつわざと詰めない。
Well, yeah, even Battler pointed that out.
余計な駒を置いて
I'm pretty sure he did.
より一方的な盤面にしてみたり。早い
The
話
whole
が
risk
勝ちが見え
deal
る
that
と
was brought up
遊び出す
last
悪い
video or
癖
the
が
video
あるってわけ。
before. I think it was a couple of videos
あん
ago.
たやベルンにとって非常に相性が悪いってわけよ。読みが効かないから。ベルンにとっては私みたいな素直で正直なタイプは読みやすくてやりやすいんでしょうね。
But Beatrice isn't really like that.
まあでも
So Byrne can still has a tough time doing it.
ベアトみたいな軽くて広い弾幕タイプなんか真正面から打ち破れちゃうわけだから、相性のじゃんけんみたいなものかしら。私が
Weird bit of a connection there, but alright.
ベルンはチョキってとこね。まあどうでもいいことかしら。確かに私のパーはベルンのチョキに負けるけど、パーよりはるかにすごい超パーだったらチョキにだって勝てるでしょ。
Yeah, but that's changing the rules of the game. Can't do that. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to that little bit of text right there, actually. Yeah, I like that other definition. Yeah, you are kind of betraying the side you're supposed to be on here. Going against Banquet still.
ベルンに負けて最強の座を奪われちゃったの。それで私はベルンからその座を取り戻さなくちゃならないわけだけど、もしここでベルンがベアトに負けちゃったら最強の座が今度はベアトに移っちゃうじゃない。まあ別に私はベアトから奪い返す方が楽だからいいわけだけど。
Yeah, good luck, honestly. I mean, I'm putting my money on Banquet still.
そして最強の座も私が取り返すの。別にあんたに力を貸すわけじゃないんだからね。ベルンを泣かせたら許さないんだから。
Oh, I wouldn't dare. Not after we got a nipa from her. Which definitely 100% confirms some suspicions I had from when we were recording the very end of episode 1. Though, I wonder if this character has any connections to Higurashi. We have the new game board added and new elements added. Okay. Is there more for us to look at before we wrap up episode 2? Thought we were all done. Oh, we have a nice new home screen here. Some new stuff here in the characters. I guess we'll go through all that this time around instead of me holding off until the next episode. So we already read... Oh, no. There's a whole lot more going on with the witch's side here. We have all the stakes now present. So, obviously, well, I don't know. Let's see. Is there anything new here with Beatrice? The endless witch who has lived for 1,000 years. She is known for being exceptionally cruel, even among witches. She loves bullying the weak and is capable of using trial and error endlessly to find the cruelest fate they can possibly be given. Excuse me. And she toys with her victims even further by piling on one after another. This witch is extremely powerful, but word has it that she sometimes becomes obsessed with the art of creating certain patterns, and that her means end up becoming her goals. Then Birdkin still, the Witch of Miracles. I don't think anything is new here, and same thing with Lambda Delta. I may have actually just reread something that I had already read for Beatrice. Yeah, this is the same thing we've already read here, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Actually, hold on. The idea, hard workers are yeah, I already read this, right? I've already forgotten, actually. Fickle about those whose efforts she chooses to reward. In many cases, she bestows her favor upon those who can please her the most, which I guess is why we're getting a little bit of help. Massive, swift, and terrifying power can cause any witch to submit in an instant. She is often reckless, and Birkenstill was able to take full advantage. Okay, yeah, we already read that. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we've already read all these, but we have all of these now. The 7 deadly sins, or I guess the 7 sisters of purgatory. So we have Lucifer, advanced level furniture created by Beatrice, can move of her own accord, but cannot disobey her summoner's orders. Possesses significant power even in human form, but her terrifying full potential is truly unleashed only upon returning to her original form as one of the 7 stakes of purgatory and soaring at the enemy at high speeds. Haughty and arrogant, but actually feels pleasure from submission. Interesting. Then we have Leviathan, and it looks like it's pretty much the same idea. Yeah, it is. Nothing but a jealous crybaby. She'll do whatever it takes to get what she wants. Satan. Really grumpy, but actually wants others to get angry with her. Okay. We have Belphegor. Thoughtful and hardworking. Because of this, she corrupts her masters. Mammon. Really greedy. Once she decides she wants something, she will sacrifice anything and everything to get it. Beelzebub. In fact, a gourmet. Would use any ingredients to make a good meal, even her own body. And finally, Asmodeus. At that age where she wants a boyfriend, will give up her life for love. And we have some interesting picks over here, which is a little interesting. We have Kinzo, Battler, and Maria, but then we also have Genji, Shannon, and Kanon. Now, Shannon and Kanon being here, I can kind of understand because they definitely do kind of have some weird-ass abilities or some shit. But let's see what Kinzo's has to say here. So, his nearly insane powers of concentration and dedication were transformed into magical power, and he awakened as a great mage. His power is at least great enough that he was able to summon Beatrice and form a contract with her. Though his power is great, it is also extremely lopsided. In particular, he specialized in summoning in barriers, so perhaps it is fitting to call him a summoner instead. Genji. So it is Kinzo's earliest furniture, which he created to serve him and him alone with complete loyalty. Though he was Kinzo's first creation, he was made with the help of a high-class demon. So though there were several flaws in his initial specs, he concealed a great potential within himself. In the many years following that, he began to mature and compensate for his many deficiencies, turning himself into the nearly flawless butler furniture that he is now. He is approaching the limit of his service life, but the magical power he can unleash for an instant rivals Kinzo's. We never saw any of his crazy-ass abilities, but he was skilled to a point, so that's kind of interesting. Shannon is Kinzo's handmade furniture in the purest sense, which he created without borrowing the power of demons. Though there were problems with several of her initial specs, she was given a very rare and precious thing, a heart. It seems that as a result of his long personal experience, Kinzo came to believe that the power created by the heart contains within it a strong magic. In the lengthy span of time following that, she began to mature, becoming exceptionally skilled with power of a protective or repulsive nature, such as magical barriers. Because of this, in the realm of barriers alone, she possesses an immense mage class level of power. We're really just getting into some, like, RPG nonsense all of a sudden. What is going on? So making use of all his previous experience, Kinzo managed to implement a set of flawless specs. Kanon was also given a heart, but it was much weaker than Shannon's. Makes sense. Perhaps because Kinzo felt a sense of approaching personal danger related to his fortune as he neared the end of his life, he bestowed Kanon with the rare power to fight and protect. However, he hasn't yet matured very far and is unable to control his own power and speed. Now Battler, an unfortunate young man to whom Beatrice has taken a liking. A human who inherited the black blood from Kinzo, inherited the massive resistance to magical power that Kinzo was born with. Ironically, it was this trait that made it so hard for Kinzo to succeed as a mage. A massive magic defense can be an ace in the hole for a battle against a witch. Kinzo has begun to lose this power with age, but Battler's power is still on the rise. Perhaps it's understandable why Beatrice tried to crush it as soon as possible. And now Maria, a little mage who has inherited the black blood from Kinzo, so there's the connection. Unlike Kinzo, she was gifted with natural talent and began to tread the path of the mage while still young, That said, her power is still weak, and she is no more than an apprentice. However, she is skilled with enchantments, which bestowed magical power upon objects, and the magical items she creates compete with those of the Meister class. As you guys can tell, I'm getting a little tired. Okay, so that does it for the witch's side, which I think that's all that's new. I'm not seeing anything here that is different immediately. We can kill people. Battler was indeed missing, surrendered once to the witch, but pulled himself together and made the decision to fight once more. I see, so witches find Battler to be a toy worth breaking. Then that explains why she breaks him a little, fixes him, and then breaks him again. Torture is meaningless if you kill the subject. You have to alternate between causing them pain and letting them rest. Interesting, actually. Very interesting. Can we kill Beatrice? Oh, no, it just turns her into... It turns her into the 19th guest. That's interesting. Okay. So I don't think anything is different with, it's not going to be different with anybody else. I'm pretty damn sure. Yeah, she was missing. Okay. Yeah, okay, so everything there is the same. I think we got everybody on the character screen, but if I missed anything, let me know. Then we've got the tips. What is new in the tips? We have the witch's score sheet. Oh, okay. This is telling us who died in what way. So Kraus, chosen by the key to the Golden Land and sacrifice. First Twilight, same with Natsuhi, Ava, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, and Kirie. Then there's Jessica, died on the second Twilight to Asmodeus. Kanun also second Twilight to Satan. Shanun was fourth Twilight. Mammon. Goda was the fifth. Beelzebub. George was sixth. Stake of Lucifer. Nanjo was seventh. That was Belphegor. Kumasawa was eighth. That was Leviathan. Then Beatrice revived. She will finally open the door to the Golden Land. Kinzo accepted the witch, prostrated himself, and was invited to the Golden Land. So he became missing on the 10th Twilight. Same thing with Rosa, but she denied the existence of the witch and was not invited to the Golden Land. Maria accepted. Genji accepted. Battler, missing like the others. Will he accept the witch and be invited to the Golden Land? We all know the answer to that. Golden Butterfly Brooch. In order to mediate the relationship between the opposite sex, it favorably edits all their fate numbers and mediates their relationship. Since it is nothing more than a favorable edit, large differences can be seen in its effects depending on the individual. Hence, if the witch giving this item does not measure with care whether the target she will give this item to will be able to use it effectively or not, she risks being called a liar. The activation cost is enormous, and to many human beings, it will be no more useful than a simple brooch. However, blind love pays enormous costs with ease. If there is goodwill from the other partner in addition, the effects will become even more dramatic. Ironically, the more dramatic the effects are, the less of a need there was for such a brooch in the first place. Which, yeah, we can definitely connect together with Shanun and George to an extent, and you do have to wonder, you know, what really came about. Probably the former here in regards to Jessica and Kanun. Anything in the grimoire? Nope. Okay, I think we're done. I am going to open up a menu so I don't accidentally trigger the stupid-ass, the intro screen again, the opening. But episode 3 has been unlocked. Yes, guys, we did it. And it's not a 2-hour-long video. I don't remember how long the finale to episode 1 was, but hey, we're done with episode 2. And I'm tired. Again, I put a lot into just, you know, finishing this up here. I'm going to get some water. Okay. Episode 2. I think we actually finished this one off in the same amount of videos as episode 1. 21 videos, because this is the 42nd video, the 42nd part. I can't say episodes like I usually do with other playthroughs. I have to say videos because the different arcs here, or chapters, or whatever you want to call them, are called episodes here. That aside, yes, 42 videos. I think this is the 42nd. So we're making good progress on the video count for this playthrough. So far, so good. We are officially a quarter of the way there in terms of episode count, which is cool. You know, we're making some progress. Maybe we will finish this before the end of the decade. I don't know, but this was a fun one. This was a lot of fun, very similar to episode 1, but I do have to admit it didn't have too much of the same mystery element. I mean, the mystery's still there, obviously. It 100% is there. Just probably more confusion than mystery. And episode 1 definitely had a beautiful mystery element. It did fantastic. I loved it. But that's not to say that episode 2 was bad in any way. It just was definitely veering more into the supernatural, which we saw at the end of episode 1, that it is... The game's now trying to show us, like, okay, no. There's some tomfoolery afoot that you cannot properly explain in the real world. No, there's some fictional bullshit happening here, which is fine. It's just, I won't really be able to try and predict things as well as I'd probably want to, which is a little unfortunate. And that's kind of where I'm stumped. You see, with a mystery, you can throw around a bunch of ideas because we're also in the realm of, you know, real world, you know, situations and consequences and actions and all that. But here, now there's a whole lot of tricks and unknown things that can be thrown around that I'm not really going to know about. The best I can do is try to do what Battler's doing, disprove the witch's actions. Try to see, okay, what really happened? So, let's take the chapel. I have no fucking idea. Let's take Jessica's room. I still have no fucking idea. Let's take what happened to the 3 in Natsuhi's room. Absolutely no idea. There's a lot of goats there. Yeah, it's hard to really connect a lot of these together. I do want to say, and there was a lot of discussion about this one in the comments, the situation with the fake Kanun and where Kumasawa and Nanjo unfortunately died, that was an interesting case because it sort of seemed like maybe you could make something out of that situation. You know, a lot of people in the comments, and even I was thinking this, yeah, maybe Genji's a little sus. I'm not going to suspect him, but he definitely seems skilled with a knife. He definitely has some stuff going on. And from what we just read, yeah, 100% he's got some stuff going on, if we want to go down that path. So you do have to wonder, you know, what could have really happened there. But then we have all these closed room situations, and even the one with Natsuhi's, that door did not lock. Gota tried to lock it. Maybe he actually succeeded in locking it. Well, then how did they die, and how did the door stay locked? How did any of these rooms stay locked? We had 4 closed room situations, as if the one in episode 1 wasn't enough. No, we have to make more. Yeah, this was a tough one in trying to come up with proper predictions. Actually, let me check my phone. I don't know if I made too many this time around. I'm keeping track of predictions I make for whenever I do a big old video at the end. No, I made 2 major predictions. I asked if Beatrice was the true villain, if there was something else going on. That second part may hold something here. There may be something else really going on here that could connect towards, you know, what Battler's been trying to tell a story of. There may be a 19th guest, sure, if we want to rewrite the story. That 19th guest could be the, you know, the villain, which could probably clear up the names of everybody else here, but it has to be human actions for that to work. My other prediction was that the Battler in episode 2's story won't immediately point fingers at Beatrice and may even defend her. Yeah, that kind of worked out, didn't it? I mean, not really. The thing is that he did not point his finger at Beatrice here in the story. But there also wasn't a whole lot of suspecting from his side. It was a lot of suspecting from everybody else. But it was a little surprising that there was some consideration for the guest, and it was more so trying to figure out who's in cahoots with the main culprit. If the main culprit was Beatrice, okay, who in the family is in cahoots with them? Which isn't too far away from the situation we had in episode 1, right? No, definitely not. So, yeah, I don't really know where I can go with those thoughts that I kind of wrote down off to the side, but that was really it. Everything else was just kind of like lingering thoughts for a single video or 2, and that was it. Nothing really to like hold on to until the end of the game, which is kind of a bummer, but maybe something else will pop up in episode 3. I haven't been reading the comments of the past couple videos or not as much, because I wanted to finish this off, and now I get to go back. I'm doing the same thing I did with episode 1. I'm going to go back, I'm going to read a whole lot of comments and really see what people have been saying, other than the obvious stuff, like talking about Genji and this and that. However, there were 2 things I wanted to bring up that I've been kind of talking about for a couple of videos. So, I have 2 questions. Could there possibly be a case of mass hysteria? Let me back that up a little further. Could it be possible in the real world for multiple people to basically, I guess, think or imagine or perceive things incorrectly and collectively the same? So everybody sees that, oh, in the corner of the room, there's that big old demon. There's a big-ass, tall, red demon. We can all see that, right? Yeah, can everybody perceive the same thing even if it's not real? Mass hysteria, mass paranoia. Paranoia was brought up, actually, I think a video ago. So I do wonder that. And if that's the case, maybe that can fit in somewhere. Though I kind of doubt it. I don't think there's a whole lot going on here. Fear is something that can definitely make you think things incorrectly. And I think fear, shock factor, there's a lot of things that play into this. that makes it so people aren't thinking as well as they probably could. Another thing is, and this is something that I kind of thought of whenever I was doing Higurashi. In Higurashi, I had a prediction that a group of people were behind everything that was kind of going on to a degree. I think I had thought of like cultists, whether they were in the village or outside or whatever. And I was on the right track, actually. Not necessarily cultists, but I was a little bit on the right track. If you know, you know. Here, I'm thinking that there has to be more people involved. In episode 1, we thought either somebody in the family was the culprit, or a servant, or Nanjo, or it was a 19th person we didn't know about. Why can't it be a mix of all those things? You know, somebody in the family, or basically the main 18. Why couldn't it be a 19th person? Why couldn't it be a group of people? There's a lot of things that happen here that I feel could not happen if more people were not involved. And I also feel that based on the red text that we got, there's a lot of details we got, a lot of good information, like the doors being locked, the way they have to be locked, with what key, how the windows have to be locked, the people that were in the room itself. But I'm still a little hung up on the idea of there being a secret exit or a secret passage or something like that. The definitions of things I feel like need to be reworked a little bit, and I think there's more that we can explore. There's a whole lot more I feel like we need, but I feel like at the same time we're also on the right track. We're right there, the answer's right there in front of us, but something else is missing, and that's kind of straying us off. Something massive is right there, but it's just a little too invisible. We just don't have the necessary details. So I do have to wonder if more people are involved. It could also be a case maybe that, well, maybe not, because what we saw with Kanun was a little weird, but there being fakes of people being, you know, having their deaths faked and stuff like that. Not really sure. And another thing that I have to continue to keep in mind is how episode 1 ended, where there was a letter, and I'm pretty sure it was from Maria, where basically it completely went against everything that she was standing up for in now both of these episodes. Something is going on here. And it kind of leans on the fact that there is no golden land, there is no witch. Something else is happening here, potentially. So I do have to wonder. Those are my lingering thoughts. It's nothing massive. I don't really know what to think. And if I'm behind, by the way, then, you know, what's new, right? I'm good at being behind on things. I'm trying to figure out the mysteries. But as I told you guys in the beginning, especially when we got the lovely epitaph, I suck at riddles. I suck at puzzles. But man, I am in it for the mystery. I'm in it to try and figure it out in my own very special way. Like hard emphasis on special. But we will definitely see if we can put things together here, bit by bit. And I do have to wonder what episode 3 has in store, because I feel like it's going to be crazier bullshit. And what sort of help are we supposed to be getting from Bernkastel, and I guess a little bit of help from Lambda Delta? I do have to wonder. But I will say this, it definitely does seem, and I brought this up earlier, this definitely does seem to be a case of the opposite of our situation here in the real world, where, yes, there is no Bigfoot, there are no aliens as far as we know, there's no ghosts, this and that. And then there's people that actually do say, yeah, there's ghosts, there's Bigfoot, there's Sasquatch, and there's the Loch Ness Monster, and whatever else. The roles are kind of flipped here, where there is a lot of, you know, perceived truth, at least from our end, that yes, a lot of crazy bullshit has gone down that cannot be explained by any regular means, but we're trying to now say, oh no, that's not real. So it's the complete opposite. It's been flipped. And we have to be, we're basically on the enemy side, in a way. We're on the flat earth side. That's a terrible way of putting it, but that's kind of how I feel. We're kind of going on an uphill climb here, and it's not easy. So, yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I don't really know what to think, but we will continue to trek along. We have 75% more of a story to go, probably a little bit more like 80, because I was told that things are about to get a little lengthier as we continue along. So, regardless, we have a lot to go through, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are looking forward to the journey with me. as I get utterly dumbfounded and I basically make myself look like an idiot. The game doesn't have to lift a finger whatsoever, but we will trek onwards and see what we can find out in episode 3, if anything. I think one of my Discord members said that this is one of the crazier of the episodes, so that's great, you know? That's something to look forward to. Episode 2 was fun, really enjoyed it. The music choices here, it touched more on the soundtrack. Lovely, absolutely beautiful, you know, crazy at times. And we had the fucking Game Theorist music playing at times. It was great. And, you know, while it was a little slow at the start, in a way similar to episode 1. Episode 1 was interesting because, like, you're just constantly learning things. But in episode 2 here, it was a little slow. Sure, we were picking up some things, but nothing was really happening. We're definitely going to be seeing the effects of a roller coaster here. We had a nice downward with episode 1 as the mystery was beginning to come up as the main focus point. And then at the end of it, okay, we're at the bottom. Now we have to go back up again on the roller coaster for episode 2. Start to build some things. Sure, there's some interesting bits, you know, we get a little excited, and then we went downward again, and now we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom. So in episode 3, we'll have a little bit of a climb, but I'm excited for the opportunity to go down again. Thank you all for tuning in to Umineko When They Cry, episode 2. Next up will be episode 3. If I missed anything in the character sheet or the tips or whatever that you think I should probably go back over when we get back into the playthrough here, let me know in the comments. Or if I need to look back on anything that you think would be helpful before we jump into episode 3, let me know. I'll probably be rereading a little bit of the ending sequence of episode 1 just to refresh my memory of what was actually put down there. I'm a little curious. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you all for episode 3. Take it easy until then, guys.